Dear brother, we have not seen each other for ages. I hope you have not forgotten my existence. In these decisive days, I am writing to you, for you are more than a next of kin. You are the most intimate friend of mine. You must come and visit my place to behold and feel with your own eyes the things that were beyond comprehension not long ago. You will be as shocked as I was for the first time. The essence of the problem is the tuning of the inner frequency. They did not know this for sure. Imagine what great sources for your new book you will find in this. The work of my life is done now, the major experiment that opens new horizons for the human perception. In these particular days, I need your presence more than ever. I am sending this message by express mail. Please find a way to come as soon as possible. I will give you all the details upon your arrival.
I meet you with an unpleasant piece of news. Yesterday, between 7 and 8 o'clock, your brother suddenly, not answered the phone calls for a long time. Suddenly, you will be announced. Take the keys to the apartments. It is an irreparable loss. He badly wanted to see you.
understanding that I will never return. Thus, if you are listening to this record, this means that I have left this world. So far, I've managed to get there only for a short period. Often the return was an anguished procedure, and I swore off to plunge anymore. Nevertheless, it is impossible to withstand the curiosity of a pioneer explorer. And what is more important, it seems like I am a hostage of the machine. Human language cannot portray that place. It is attractive and frightening at the same time. There are heart-dear places, but at the same time, the atmosphere is alien to human beings. And after all, I believe those feelings are an essential part of us. I am warning you of attempts to repeat my experiment and ask you, as my brother, to make sure that my work will not receive publicity. Burn all the notes and destroy all the facilities except the capsule. It must be saved. Let it be just a piece of metal for you. I cannot tell you more. You are the only heir of my house and property according to my will. Furthermore, do not forget an important thing. The 6th of June. I finished the assembling of the first 2 amplifiers. I calculated how many vacuum tubes I need. Peter, my second assistant, who takes part in the assembling process, has broken up some tubes today. I will need to borrow some money from Heller again because of my financial distress. When my visitors see the organophone, they start asking useless questions as if I'm giving music lessons. It will be reasonable to hide it behind the curtain. How primitive is their train of thought. The 9th of June. The work is in full swing. Steaming engine has become an object of my attention. It required a certain revision for powering the amplifiers from its power supply. It is positively impossible to use the town's power circuit. Unstable voltage and noises, those bloody noises. After all, it may be a big hazard. The 23rd of June. Some visitors from the university appeared. Something concerning my grant. I had to hustle them out. I met Elizabeth at the front door. She told me that 2 old women who had lived above my apartment moved unfortunately yesterday. They were saying that the building had been cursed. When I asked what was this curse like, she said the old women complained about permanent anxiety, confusion, and migraines. I expressed in my opinion that in their old age, things may go even worse, but admitted to myself that recently I had turned on the organophone quite often, and it is the time to think about proper acoustic insulation. The 26th of June. I've recommenced my bicycle rides in the evening. I turn on the light in the greenhouse less frequently. I don't need to worry about the plants now. The 4th of July. Tonight, a diving bell was delivered. I went out to meet them. The weather was awful, a cloudburst with strong wind. Luckily, they managed to mount it up the stairs, and the doorway appeared to be wide enough. A person from the university called me. I missed my lecture. It was for the first time in my life. The 19th of July. It is still gloomy. The barometer is falling. I feel bloody ill, but I cannot put off my work. Paul and Peter helped me to install the oscillator. After short doubts, we decide to embed bars in the floor. Some books about ancient beliefs of the West Caucasus tribes were delivered, and a work of one English anthropologist who had been living there for 6 years. It is doubtful that I will find out anything new there. The 5th of August. It was clear from the very beginning that we must cool the amplifiers somehow. Overheating may lead to bad consequences, especially during the work of the capsule's oscillator. I have chosen water cooling at the moment. It's a safe and reasonably priced method. The valves may adjust the fall. All the amplifiers work hazard-free if the number of turns for each valve is 5222. The first canal is the primary one, so it demands the strongest head. The 14th of August. I sold some furniture and silverware. Peter told me in a considerate way that I look haggard. I cannot see this myself because there are no mirrors in the house anymore. The capsule is almost finished. I'm going to do an anticipatory test in a couple of weeks. The 27th of August. There is a miscalculation, I guess. I am nearly giving way to despair. At least 1 month of working for nothing. One of the amplifiers combusted. I've taken the Tutsin extract and come to my senses. The 3rd of September. Everything is in vain. The miscalculations are somewhere in the theoretic computations. To tell the truth, I am not sure that my project is perfect, but God is my witness. I have not attempted to make the construction cheap and simple. How could I trust those threadbare stones and unconvincing legends when many thousands of years had passed and many civilizations had come and gone? No, definitely no. The golden age of humankind passed. In our world, one's consciousness is doomed to be only a part of the medular substance being cut by the surgeon's scalpel easily. I met our parents on Tuesday. They looked just like they had been during our memorable ferry trip. There is no return. Our memory and experience are what make our very self. After every immersion, a small part of the personality stays there, meeting the memories of the past that begot it. Mother's eyes were looking at me again, and it was not just an empty image or the face from a photograph. I saw comprehension in her eyes and understood that she saw me as well. The separation process is out of control. It's too late to change anything when the scope of the things happening becomes clear. Inner conflicts materialize, archetypes overwhelm, and the ego drowns in an ocean of uncertainty. I remembered the kindness and care they had given us in our childhood. When I returned, I felt very irritated and even said God knows what to my housekeeper, a very nice old woman. Wherefore is this world without youth, without loving and close persons? My experiments with Albertia and Odorum. The 18th of August. I chewed the leaves and felt nothing but the bad taste. I will try to extract it with dissolvent. The 25th of August. I gradually changed the proportion of the solvents to get the more effective extract. I use alcohol and ether as solvents. In the beginning, the liquids do not mix and the border between them is clear. This allows controlling the proportions well. I keep recording all the effects, including the side ones, but till this very moment, I have noticed nothing but light dizziness the day after. The 1st of October. It is hard to explain, but the effect of dual personality, which is specific to Albertia, becomes phenomenal if I combine inhalation of fumes of the plant extract with the infrasound exposure in my capsule. It is difficult to find a more conclusive evidence for my theory. Anyway, it is necessary to be very careful in view of this factor. An isolated intake of the Albertia extract causes slower intoxication. It leads to immobilization and occasionally to incoherent visions, sort of febrile delirium. It is quite difficult to remember even general details of the visions in a few hours. Dolmens. I have been thinking about the mystery of the dolmens for many years. We know nothing about its builders, their beliefs, and their way of living. Scientists used to think that these stone structures were patrimonial interments, but it was a big mistake, for remains were found only in several dolmens, and probably those had been put there by latter inhabitants hundreds of years after the construction. My theory is the result of studying strict regularities of the construction of every dolmen. The discovery suggests that the dolmen builders belong to a highly developed and pragmatic culture, alien to barbaric and primitive traditions of that time. Their complete disappearance is one of the greatest mysteries. There are neither evidences of wars nor natural disasters, as if they died at once of a mysterious disease, or just dissolved into thin air. Once during a trip to Western Caucasia, I talked to an archaeologist who told me that there were remnants of Albertia and Odorum plant on the antic potsherds found in the dolmens. It is quite a rare plant with small purple flowers. It grows in mountain areas which are difficult to access. I brought the Albertia seeds home just in case and tried to couch them in my greenhouse. When I found the soil as dry as in the plant's natural aerial, it put down the roots. Meanwhile, I read in a botanical encyclopedia that the plant contains a substance which has a dissociative effect. In other words, it splits and separates connections between different parts of our mind. The usual interactions between memory, feelings, consciousness, and the ability to move become broken. The effect is really hard to imagine. The 18th of October. As a result of my experiments, I have concluded that if we consider that the capsule is the gate to the Shimmering World, then the agent received from Albertia is the key to the door. Reworking the capsule took a lot of time while dealing with the plant, but it was very simple. It requires 5 portions of alcohol and 3 portions of ether to get the extract. The 6th of November. I have been experiencing a very strange side effect during the last days. I've started to remember my early childhood in its most minute detail, especially that tragic episode which I wish to erase from my memory. But my mind replays it over and over again. It is unbearable. Nota bene, the second canal is totally blocked. It is necessary to supply the needed amount of liquid through the first canal. The 10th of September. The whole week has passed like one moment. Progressively, fewer students are visiting my lectures, but I do not care anymore. Looking through the books, the notes of the Englishman, utter nonsense as I thought beforehand, I found a very interesting fact. The courts, which the dolmens were built of, along with the specifics of the construction, allowed generating ultrasound as well as infrasound. It means that it is necessary to change the strength and character of the ripple, and it seems like I will need the 5th controller. Soon my expenses will be much greater than my income, but I do not want to think about that. The 8th of October. I have been carrying out experiments with the organophone during the last 2 days. All the windows are vibrating and the plaster peels off the ceiling. Peter, who is laying the lines, complained about paroxysms of panic, so I gave him the earplugs. Now I am sure that I have calculated the size of the capsule and its layout correctly. It means that the problem is in the acoustic pressure and the ripple. The 10th of October. It is a great day. I cannot believe in my success. Finally, I have managed to be there for a few seconds. I did not feel my physical body, but at the same time, I was aware of myself and everything around me. It is hard to believe, but I could move in that world. I guarantee that all I had seen was not a result of overexertion, but the work of my machine, which implemented the experience of the ancient civilizations. Also, the chemical effect of the plant should not be disregarded, but I do know it produces an absolutely different effect when isolated. I must hurry to the cellar and celebrate this occasion with a bottle of Chateau Bordeaux. The 12th of October. It appears to be even more extraordinary than I could imagine. I have started a new diary where I thoroughly record every detail of my presence in what I decided to call the Shimmering World. The second trip was distinctly longer and lasted for 2.5 minutes. I insist now that it is possible not only to travel there, but also to interact with various objects. Sometimes it reminds me of our habitual world reflected in a distorting mirror and with dimmed colors. Experiments are ongoing. Last week I realized that the Shimmering World exists under its own laws of time and space. Now it appears much more complex and deeper than it seemed before. I think this is the second day that I've spent without having a meal, but doing this would force me to go out. But that's the last thing I want to do. The 23rd of October. The slightest equipment malfunction can lead to the failure of the whole research. I scarcely have money for buying new parts. The latest innovation. I installed the control panel with the toggle switchers in the living room for more comfort and safety. I do not know when I'll have the occasion to write again. The journal takes too much precious time, which I rather dedicate to exploring the Shimmering World. 4th of November. I feel that it is waiting for me. Everything I have been doing in my life got imprinted in the gleaming world in some way. Now it gives me the chance to experience all the happy moments over again and correct all the things I want to change. I need to raise the dose and gain the head of water in order to prolong the trip. Maybe that world is the matrix for our reality. My discovery will turn the scientific world upside down. The 11th of November. It is very hard to write. I am confused and depressed. The Shimmering World showed me its new, frightening hypostasis. From the very beginning, I felt the irrational fright. I needed to run away, but I felt as if I had stuck in time. And one of the episodes repeated over and over again. I was robbed of my strength, but I managed to leave the capsule by a miracle. A new trouble appeared in my life. I received a notice that my financial situation is extremely poor. Why does this happen when I am almost done with all the needed material and ready to inform the world about my revolutionary discovery? The 1st of December. There is no other reality. It is just a dream. The house is a dream, and this diary is part of the dream too. It is a strange conglomeration of meaningless words. It is impossible to construct this kind of machine here. Only a somnolent mind could give a birth to such a trivial and linear world. It is a place where all the things are being ruined gradually and dying. How should it be? There is no answer here. I do not understand how any discovery can change the world. Appreciation, love, and money are only illusions, and our self is just a sequence of the memories. What has been happening to me all this time? At first, I did not realize that I could not leave the Shimmering World in the usual way. How long have I been here? Has it been days, months, or probably years? To have at least a rough idea of time, I date my notes according to the meridian moving fragments of architectural abstractions. Fragment 3. The control of gravitation and the course of time help to get to the places previously inaccessible. I have managed to improve some of those facilities. It looks like I am solving a puzzle created by the Supreme Mind. I feel that somebody is lurking constantly in the darkness, and I know this person, but I cannot remember his name. Fragment 7. This place is in an utter desertion now, but yesterday it looked different. All my actions in that time had inevitably influenced the present. Sometimes the distortion of the time flow reconstructs the events that took place in my childhood. Then, I relive the fragments of my life as a spectator who is unable to change anything. Fragment 11. I can hardly control myself. The past oppresses me. It seems that I start to drown in it and lose orientation in time and space. I cannot bear this bright white light. I feel yearning and impotence as if the light keeps a horrible secret. I have to get rid of this time key as soon as possible. I will disassemble it and hide pieces as far as possible. Fragment 4. I don't know who took my diary and wrote some notes in it. Whoever it was, I would like to know what was his intent. Fragment 2. There is only one chance to leave this world. The chance is so elusive that it can happen only with one born under the lucky star. There are no stars here, though. Fragment 22. Danger! Do not look into the darkness. Do not listen to the roaring of the wind. My good man, I'm glad to recommence our interrupted correspondence. I suppose the weather in your corner of the world is fine. I have a strong recommendation from the doctors to take a trip to a health resort this season. Thus, if it's all right, I hope we will meet very soon. We will have a cup of tea at a lounge with a marvelous view. But am I the person to tell you about this? I can't resist the temptation of writing about my work. As far as I remember, you showed a keen interest in my project. In the past, 10 years ago, we ardently discussed a possibility of reconstruction of the megaliths, and you claimed that these were the sort of cells for pagan monks. In that time, the theory of that archaeological scoundrel was surprisingly popular in the scientific community. And where is that dominant influence now? It languishes in poverty at some district university chair. Hermits, what nonsense. I guess he knows nothing about Fourier theorem. And yet my project, my life's work, is heading toward completion. I have incontrovertible evidence of psychoactive effects, slow waves, and unbelievable multiplicative effects under the influence of Albertia inodorum fume. I wish you could see all the devices located in my apartment, as I am catastrophically short of knowledge in neurophysiology. Dear friend, may I ask of you a little favor? Try to find in your book depository the second volume of Archaeological Dig at Foothills. I am interested in the first edition, which has no corrections. My address is the same, with my best wishes for you and your wife. me? I know you're here. I realize now that I've gone too far. It became clear to me that the experiment there was too much risk. If one stays here for some minutes longer, the body can fall into coma or even die. Listen to me. I don't know what happened to me during that last trip. There was some splitting, and a part of my reason stayed locked in the Shimmering World. That world knows everything about me. He displays events from the past, and I understand that I must change something. I wish I could. If I had done it differently, then I wouldn't try to meet you now. Sometimes it seems that we industriously hide from the Shimmering World, in the alien world that is called reality, and I am not alone here. Some strange entities can be met here, shadows which have been roaming the world for hundreds and thousands of years. Time is running out. You must know, there is a chance that not all is lost, and you will find me. Follow the white light.
She's all around here. Hush. There she is.
She is sleeping. Don't scare her off.
You go from the left and we'll go from behind.
Let's have some fun.
Hush. Take this iron rod. What do you want?
Leave the dog alone. It's sick. Don't even try to hamper. Stand at the door and watch. We'll deal with her very fast. Please, don't do this. Stop.
sound?
Damn, she ran away. Run, it's a watchman. I know the short way. There's a trapdoor in the old oven.
person you're looking for is gone.
The 3rd of May. I graduated from the university 1 year ago, but my thirst for knowledge is stronger than ever. I work at the chair and design machinery at home in the evenings, which are driven by electricity. Magazines and articles give stable opinions about all the great discoveries that are made. I think this is a big mistake and want to prove it wrong. At least, I'm not ready to accept that there are no unexplored things. The 25th of May. It's hard to say when I stopped believing in God. Probably, at a lecture, I realized that science would disprove the existence of the divine force. Maybe I had understood this earlier, when I was assured of his injustice when he put human life adrift for no one to change. Since then, my rational views have grown strong, along with widening emptiness inside. Even while being in good company, I had a feeling that I was alone in a desert, and wherever I went, the way led me nowhere. Even while being in a good company, I got a feeling that I am all alone in a desert, and wherever I go, the way will lead me to nowhere. The 9th of June. Yesterday, during the work, I remembered a simple puzzle from my high school period. I cite it as I remember because it appears original to me, despite its evident simplicity. There are 4 power sources given. The sources are connected so that the voltage is enough to turn on a lamp. The task is to connect the sources, providing the voltage necessary for turning on a toy engine. I spent many hours trying to know about the secrets of electricity. The solution was obvious. In the first case, the sources were connected by pairs into 2 parallel circuits. Then, to gain a higher voltage, one had to connect the sources in series. The 11th of June. Yesterday, I met a girl on the tram. I talked to her during the trip. It appears that she is a student of chemistry at my university. Her name is Mary, and I think she is a very pretty girl. We agreed to ride the same tram the day after tomorrow. The 18th of June. I doubt the progress of the irrepressible engine of our civilization. People develop new territories, which are hardly suitable for living. They build towns with skyscrapers, which amass with grandeur. Streets are crowded with people and driving vehicles. People expand their estates. They mine treasures beneath the soil, which were inaccessible for any living creature, even bacteria. The 6th of July. The anthropology lessons were not lost on me, though I didn't give them much attention. I've been invited to be part of a Western Caucasia task group, finding traces of ancient civilization which were present in the region are evident because of the dolmens. That was our main purpose. There are many legends and superstitions about dolmens in educated society, so it is time to have one common opinion on these prehistoric megaliths. I'll have a chance to escape from home in these oppressing surroundings. I leave in 3 days. Dear Mary, are there any things of interest happening in the city? My expedition is protracting. Discovery of every new dolmen is utterly hard work. Besides locating regions difficult to access, it seems like they are specially hidden in the landscape. Natives hardly give any information about locations and refuse to help finding out dolmens or attend our group. Excavations inside the dolmens provide conflicting results. Burial places are rarely found. I am amazed by the perfect shapes and the precision of the stone plates. Sometimes I dream of people who built these majestic neoliths, the people who disappeared long ago without leaving a trace. I know there must be a clear explanation, and we are here to find it out. I miss you so much. It's a pity the letters arrive with a long delay. Yours sincerely, K. P.S. I succeeded in making a daguerreotype of a dolmen. I will show it to you on my return.
person you're looking for is gone.
Wednesday. Dad said that my brother and I would go skating today. I've been waiting for this day for a very long time, but it appeared that the skates were too small for me. I tried not to show this, but Mom noticed and said that I could go skating after Christmas, when I have new skates. Friday. I am waiting for the ice to melt, but it isn't melting or cracking. I tested the steamboat in the bathroom, but it is too small for it. And the steamboat has no fuel because I had no chance of stealing the kerosene from the maid. Wednesday. Brother promised to get me some coal, which gives off a lot of smoke. We'll put it in the funnels as the steamboat will real. generator. Saturday. Most of all, I liked physics and math in high school. Mom said that my brother and I are different. He didn't start to go to school, but does well in literature and geography in his home lessons. Today is Sunday. I woke up early, though hadn't slept all night. My brother and I prepared our secret experiment until late last night. I am excited. It's all white in the street because of the snow. We had a snack and went to the lake, taking all the necessary things. Mom and Dad went away, and the maid went to the market. We left our hats at home because it was not cold outside, but not that warm as in the countries where our steamboat is going to float. When we came to berth the steamboat, I remember that I had left the cordage behind, which bound the steamboat, so it would not float too far in the beginning. I went home and my brother stayed at the berth. About halfway, I heard somebody call me. It was a scream. I understood that something bad had happened. I ran back and lost my glove.
Give me your hand! Fast, fast! Don't give up! Kiss my hand! Come on! No, no! What's wrong with you? Dear brother, we have not seen each other for ages. I hope you have not forgotten about my existence yet.